Right, so I'm going to give you some tips and advice on how to tune a guitar as a beginner. First things first, if you've got a smartphone, download a tuning app. I've just downloaded one that says Guitar Tuner, free and easy. I can't show it you on here because on the Play Store because it's green and it just won't appear on the screen. So I'm just going to open it. I'll just show you what it looks like. So you've got a guitar head with the tuning pegs, and you've got all these random letters at the top. So I'm going to explain what they are and explain how to use it. Okay, so first things first, we need. I'm going to label these strings 1 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is going to be your top string. Okay, so it's important that you actually can trace where these strings lead to which one of these 6 tuning pegs here, because the amount of times people that I'm asking them to tune and they'll be on this one, they'll be picking this one and tuning, and nothing's happening, and all of a sudden they tune another string too tight and it snaps. So you've got to trace where these are tuning to. So this top string on my guitar is going to here, this first one, and that's usually what happens. And then the second string here is related to this one here. Then this fourth string here is related to this one on the end. This third one is related to this one at the end, so it doesn't start from here with the third. So the second string here is this middle one at the bottom, and your first string is usually here on here. I say usually because if you've wired it up completely different than which I've seen it in other ways, you know, you got to just find out which string relates to what tuning peg. And if you've got an electric guitar, the tuning pegs could be in a row on the top or on the bottom. So yeah, first things first, just find out which string relates to which peg. Now you've got to understand about pitch and how it moves. So pitch, when you tighten, the string goes oh, and when you loosen it goes oh. So if I was to get the first string here and pluck it and just turn this one that relates to it, I want you to listen to the pitch. Where does it go? So you got to be aware of what happened there. So that pitch started in, it lowered in pitch. So that's important, you know how to lower the pitch of a note. Now I was turning it sort of anti-clockwise for me, but it depends how you've wrapped it round this little thing. You could have wrapped it round the wrong way or the other way, and then it would be clockwise for you. So it's important that you use your ears and not just rely on anti-clockwise or clockwise. So I'm going to raise the pitch. Can you hear the pitch rising there? So it's important that you know how to rise the pitch and then flatten the pitch. So when you do the tuner, the whole point of the tuner is you've got to get the little thing in the middle for it to be in tune. So if it's to one side, it's telling you it's too flat. So you've got to go, raise it. Or if you're on the other side of the middle, you'll be too high. It's telling you whether you're too high, so you've got to lower the pitch or you've got to higher the pitch. That's the key to tuning. Okay, so the next step is knowing the names of these. Oh, actually, I'm going to show you the chromatic scale. Now, the chromatic scale is the order of the notes from 0 all the way to 12. And it's important to know, you don't have to memorize it, not at this stage, but it's important for you to know that there's some notes which look the same, but they're not actually the same. So if I was to show you a chromatic scale here, you'll see that there's a D, and then there's a D sharp. It looks like a D hashtag. So sometimes you could be tuning to a D sharp if you can see that's your next note up in the sequence. And you'll think that you're getting it in tune, but you're not actually getting it in tune. It's 1 fret too high. So then you got to, this little hashtag symbol is a sharp symbol. So if it's on a D sharp and you're tuning one of your notes to a D, you've got to flatten it, come down down in pitch to get till it sees like a D, just a straightforward D. Okay, so the first letter we're going to deal with is an E there. So it's going to be an E. So if it's to either side of that, if it's too sharp, it's going to be an F. Or if it's too low, it's going to be a D sharp. So I'm just going to get the little app now. This is free, this app. So if I pluck the first string, what's that telling me? Look at the letter. Well, I can see it says F. So if you look at your chromatic scale there, so this is our first string, the thin string, and it's on F. Which way would I need to go to make it into an E? Because it has to be an E. I would have to lower the pitch. I'm trying my best to explain vocally, but yeah, lowering, going down. Okay, so I'm going to hold that like that. I'm going to play this and tune this with one hand. So I want you to notice it'll go to F and I'll go down in pitch and then it'll move to an E. Have you noticed the little Knight Rider? The little Knight Rider thing in the, if it's either to one side, it's still too sharp. So I was trying to get it into the middle. The little, see the swooping across thing. Let's. So you can see below the E, it is right in the middle. If I was to move it up, you'll see it. I'll come down again. So I'm trying to get that thing in the middle, just below the letter. So the letter is the name of your note, but the thing above, just below the letter, is whether you're too high or too low. So you got to know whether to bring your note up or down. Okay, so the second string is a B. So let's have a listen to that. I mean, that's bang on in tune. So if you see, it says a B and the thing below it is right in the middle. So let's down tune the next one. So the third string should be a G. So it's a G. So it's coming up as G, but if you can see the big red line on this side, means I've got to take the pitch up. So what's this? See the line's getting closer to the middle? That's right in the middle on the G. Okay, so I'm going to knock this out of tune a bit. So this fourth string is a D, should be a D. Ah, look, it's saying E. So that should be a D. I'm just going to show you on the chart. It should be a D here, and it's saying an E. So really, that's 2 frets. 2 frets worth too high. So if I'm on E, I need to bring it down till it says D sharp, and then I need to bring it down till it says D, and then I've got to get it in the middle where it says D. So this is the fourth string we're dealing with here. So I'm going to pluck it again. It says E, so I'm going to bring the pitch down. Where are we there? So. So I'm on a D sharp there. It's got little sharps in. So that's in tune to a D sharp, which is not what you want. That's a D, and it's near enough in the middle. Sometimes it's hard to get it exactly in the middle, especially if I'm holding it like this. Okay, so you could see how that was 2 steps too high, even though it said it was in tune to an E note. And you probably look at it and say, well, it says it's in tune, but it should actually be called a D, so you got to go down 2 steps till it gets to the D. So E, then we took it down to D sharp, and then we took it down to D. So it's important to know the names of these notes, and it says so on this lap. If you look on the where the tuner is, I don't know if you can see on the little red things. It might not be possible to see here, but it does say the letters of the strings that they should be. Okay, so this fifth string should be an A. It's your A. So let's see what it's saying it is. Okay, so that's saying it's a G sharp. Now, if I was to show you the chromatic scale on a G sharp, once you get to a G sharp, it's a bit of a loop. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It starts at A again. So it goes to G here, then G sharp, then it starts at A, then A sharp. So we've got the problem here where we're on G sharp, so we need to get to an A. So we got to raise the pitch. The pitch has got to go higher to go from this G sharp to an A. That's where we want to get to. Okay, so I'll play it again and you can see the G sharp. I don't know if you can see the sharp symbol that well, but you can see there's a dot just above the G. So that's in tune to a G sharp, but we need to make it an A, so we're going to go higher. So we're in the vicinity of an A, but you can see it's too flat still, so we've got to raise the pitch more. That's in the middle. See, it says A, and the thing below it is right in the middle. Okay, so the last note is an E, which is the same as the first note. So this is an E. Let's see what it says. Let's do that again. So it's saying E, but it needs to come down a little bit. And that's gone too much now. That's in the middle. Now I'll tell you what happened there, because that went from being too sharp to boosh, like super low, and it like just jolted in a flash. Well, what happens if you're tuning from a higher pitch and coming down, the string can get caught in this little gap here. So you're tuning down and not much is happening because it's trapped in here. So you're tuning down and then you tune a little bit more, and then it all releases. It goes doom to like virtually a half a step down in pitch. So the best way to do it is always, and I didn't mention this at the start because it might have been too confusing to mention it then, but is to always tune from lower, below the note, tuning up, because there's always going to be tension on these strings. It's not going to get trapped in here, whereas you're loosening the tension, it gets trapped and then it gets released. So always go from below the note and tune up to the note, so the tension's always tight on these strings. But if that's too hard to do, to always tune from lower at first, don't worry about it, just try your best. But in time you'll realize it's always better to go from lower. So if you're a bit too high, you want to go stupidly just a bit, like quite a bit lower, so you can tune up to the note. Okay, I hope that's helped. I know I've tried to explain this a lot of time, tuning, and it is quite difficult to, well, it's easy to just say, oh, tune your guitar, but if you say to someone, explain how to tune, you're like, all right. It's a lot harder than it sounds. So I hope I've made it sort of palatable for you to understand and you can use. If you've got any comments, just let me know and I can help you a bit further. So thank you very much. Bye bye.